Hello everyone. In this tutorial we are going to learn how we can create a standard structural framing family. For example, in this video we want to create a steel structural framing, and for example we want to create a I-shape steel structural framing. Yeah, that's it. Let's start. How we can create a structural framing family. What do we need for a structural framing family? We need for creating a structural framing, we have two steps. Step one, we need a profile, and a profile is a profile for extrusion, or it used in sweep. Yeah, and the profile can be I shape or U shape or C shape. It depends on your structural framing. And for example, in this video we want to create an I-shape structural framing, and our profile is I-shape structural framing profile. And a path. A path is a path to extrude or sweep the structural framing. For a structural framing family, we can use extrusion or a sweep path for creating a structural framing, but we always prefer sweep in a structural framing and in a structural column family. Because for using the structural framing or the structural column in your project, when we need to add some standard connection in our families, a sweep always give us the best result. So, and the steps. Step one, we want to create a profile. For creating a structural framing or a structural column, we have two choices. The first option is to create the profile in the structural framing family, and the second option is to create profile in another family, for example in a profile family template, and then load it to our structural framing or structural column family. And always we prefer the option that you create the profile in a separate family and load it to your main family. And the second step is to lock the profile to reference plane. You need to lock your profile to reference plane to for creating some perimeter in your family. And the second step is to create some perimeter actually, and the last step is the set section shape and set material and all other things. So let's start. I have opened a blank project, a blank structural project, and for creating family you can just click on new and family. And from your directory of your Autodesk library, you can use English or English Imperial or some other language, and I want to use English template because I want to create a metric structural framing. So these are our templates, our family templates, and each one is used for creating one thing in Revit. And for creating a structural framing, we have a structural framing, beam and braces. Yeah, here. we can use this template to create a structural framing. And I clicked on open. Yeah, I can delete the sample here, and this is just a sample, and we can create my structural framing here. We can see 3 reference plane here and 3 reference plane here. We need to constrain our structural framing or our path to the middle one, this one and this one, and we can see later why we should constrain our path in these reference plane. Okay, so we can use sweep to create our structural framing, and for sweep, yeah, you can click on sweep and click on sketch path and create your path and click on finish. Now you can see you need a profile. For profile, you can just click on edit path and go to left or right, for example left, and just you can click and create your, for example here, your profile. And we have a better way, and the best choice here is to create our profile in a separate profile template and then load it to this family and use the profile in this family, because in this way you can develop your profile and change your profile later. So I click on cancel, and before creating our sweep we need a profile. For profile, you can click on new family, and the same way in English folder we have metric profile. Yeah, here, metric profile template. What is the metric profile template? It is a 2D template for creating profile. A profile can use in a structural framing, a structural column, railing, baluster, and some other objects in Revit. And now we want to use this template to create our structural framing profile. Yeah, click on profile, and here we can see the 2D template for creating new profile. By using line, you can create your, for example here we want to create a I-shape profile. Here I have a Excel file for a steel profile. For example, I want to create this profile in Revit, and in the first step we need to create this profile. Actually, we can just select, click on the MM, mirror this and mirror again, something like this. Yeah. And the next step, what was the next step? The next step is to align and lock my profile to a reference plane. And for a reference plane, you can create it in create tab and click on reference plane. And for each edge, you need a separate reference plane. For example, for top edge, for right edge, for bottom edge, for left edge, and for flange thickness of your profile, and actually for web thickness of your profile here. Yeah. And the next step is to align and lock each edge in our reference plane. So you can click on AL in your keyboard, or in modify tab you can find the align button, and just we can click on auto lock. We are using Revit 2025. We have auto lock here, and just click first in your reference plane and second in your profile, and we can see it locks automatically. And for the right edge, again click on our reference and then click on our destination, click on reference plane here, yes, again for this, again for this edge, this edge, and here this edge, yeah, top, this and this. And for checking, we can just move our reference plane and make sure our profile should be changed. We missed it. Yeah, it works. Yeah, and yeah. Okay, so I think everything is okay, and the next step was to create some perimeter. For perimeter we need some dimension. For each perimeter you need one separate dimension. For example, here we have width of flange. Here we have height of your profile. We have thickness of web and thickness of flange, top flange and bottom flange. And we have a rounding radius here, and we need a separate dimension for each. For example, this is for top flange thickness, this is for bottom flange thickness, this is for width, and this is for height, and this is for web thickness. And I set the scale into 5, yes. And for each side, for example, right side should be same as left side. The left side and the right side should be symmetric, and we need another dimension from left to center to right and set it as equal. And also for the height, set it as equal. Also for web, here, we can set it as equal. Yeah. And now we can see if you change the right side, the left side moved as well. So we need to have some, we need to create some perimeter. For example, we need width, we need height, and instead of creating each perimeter separately, we can set the section shape in family category and perimeters. Click on this button, and from the section shape area change it to I shape parallel flange. I think, yeah, you have some I shape here, but the best choice here is I shape parallel flange, and say click on OK. After that, you can see you have some perimeter in your family types here. For a standard structural framing, you need to set the section shape and use the built-in perimeters instead of creating each perimeters separately, because if you use the built-in perimeters, you can have it in your schedule, you can have it in your tags, and when you need to some standard connection in the project area, and Revit is completely compatible with these perimeters. Okay, so now you can just click on your dimensions and here choose your perimeter. For example, this is width, this is height, this one, and this one is flange thickness, yeah, and this one is web thickness, yeah. And if you remember, we have a rounding here. For this we can click on line, click on, for example, fillet arc, click on these two lines, and now we can click on this lock and this lock, because when you lock these values, yeah, here if I changed it, for example 5, we can see all the things is good, and we repeat it for the other sides. And for dimension, you can click on your arc and click on dimension. You can see dimension here, and I repeat it for all the other edge. So we can click on these dimensions, and here we need a web fillet. Yeah, here these are web fillet. That's it. We set the profile, we set all the dimensions, and we can save your profile. For example, I save it as I shape profile. Save it. And for the placeholder, you can set the values here. For example, we can use IPE, for example, yeah, IPE 18, IP80, and for the IP80 the height is 80, the width is 46. Let me set it 46. That values was millimeter, and here we have centimeter, 8 centimeter, and the T is flange thickness, and flange thickness is 5.2, and the web thickness is S 3.8. yeah, flange thickness was 5.2 and web thickness was in centimeter, or you can just write, for example, 3.8 millimeter, and it converts automatically. And for the centroid, it is very important to set the centroid, horizontal and vertical centroid, if you want to use your structural framing in your project and assign some standard connection to it. Okay, so horizontal centroid here is width, center of width. Here we can use your width in formula, width divide 2, yeah, and for vertical centroid is height divided to 2. Yeah, that's it. And yes, click on OK and save it again, and just click on load into project and close, and select your family and click on OK. Now we have our profile here, I-shaped profile, and we can use it in our sweep. So click on sweep, click on sketch path, create your path using line, and click on align, or just click on AL in your project. Align the first of your sweep, align the end of your sweep, and align your sweep itself in the center of your workspace. So click on finish, click on select profile, and now you can see the I-shape profile here. Click on I-shape profile, and if you see it in your 3D view, you can click on your finish button. Yeah, here we have our profile. But in this family, we don't have any perimeter. Why? Because all the perimeter was in this family, the I-shaped profile family. And if you can see, click on your type here. Yeah, you have all the perimeter here and the section shape as well. But in this family, you don't have any perimeter, and this family loads into your project. And if you use this family into your project, you need to change the size of your structural framing, and actually you need some perimeter to do that. So you need some perimeter in this family, so you can just use the previous method. You can click on family category and perimeters. You can click on section shape and define your section shape. Click on OK and OK. And now you can see all the perimeters here. But you don't have any dimension in this workspace, and you can't assign you can't assign any dimension in this workspace to your perimeters. So what we need to do, we need to assign each perimeter in your profile family, associate each perimeter in your profile family to a perimeter in your main family. This family is a nested, and this family is your parent family or your main family. So you can click on your type, and here you can associate your width in I-shape profile to width. Here is the list of perimeter in this family. Here these are. Yeah, so I can click on associate width and assign and associate it to the width in this family. Click on height, flange thickness, and the centroid is have formula. Click on OK, and now you can see, if you, for example, if you change your width from 4.6 to 5, you can see the changes. That's it. For example, that's it. And the last step is to assign your material. You can click on your beam, click on material, and assign a material directly here, or we can create a material perimeter to control your material in your project. So you can just associate your material perimeter to a structural material. This structural material is created when you choose the section shape like the other one. And that's it. This is a standard structural framing, and you can save it, and for the name is I shape structural framing, yeah, and save. And don't forget to create a type. If you don't create a type, the default type get the name equal your family, and create a new type and name it, for example, IPE 80. Click on OK, and you can create some other type for each one here. Click on OK, and yeah, save it and load it into your project. And here, for example, I have two columns. For example, I have two columns here, and if you run the structural framing command and click on center of your column, if you can see, let me change my level to level 2. Yeah, if you can see, when you create a structural framing from center of your column to center of your column, let me make some changes. For example, from level 1 to level 2. Yeah, let me some changes. If you can see, when you create a structural framing from center of your column to center of your column, you have a setback here, and what is this extension and setback? Here you can see setback and your extension. It is because you create your structural framing from this reference plane to this reference plane, and this distance from here to here is your negative extension. And for example, if you create your structural framing from this one and this one, when you load it to your project, you don't have any negative extension, and it's bad. Yeah, that's it. We have a structural framing here, and if you can see, our family is our I-shape structural framing family, and our type is IPE 80. This is the standard way of creating steel structural framing. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and like this video, and goodbye.